were Canadian Scots piping the opening to the England v Scotland International, witnessed by some 90,000 spectators. The teams came out together, England in white shirts. The King, the Queen and Princess Elizabeth headed the distinguished names that were here to watch, and the King shook hands with the teams. First with the Scottish visitors, and then with England, the latter being conveniently marked with numbers. As the rest of the royal party came into the box, a roar of welcome came from the crowd, largely, no doubt, for Princess Elizabeth, whose first international this was. Scotland kicked off, having lost the toss, but it was the England 11 that put on the pressure. Play in the first half was fairly even, but the Scottish goal was opened up first when a brilliant run-through by Matthews led to Hagan scoring. Now the Scotsmen are attacking and we're coming up to the equaliser by Dodds. Score at half-time, 1-1. During the interval, we were reminded that there's a war on by a tough commando display. It isn't everyone who can stand being stripped to the waist when there's an icy wind in the Straits of Dover. England kicked off for the second half, and then Scotland started attacking. But their defences were overwhelmed before the final whistle. England scored 5 more goals, and here's one of them. Result, England 6, Scotland 2. Now that London is getting blitzes again, it's as well to investigate how much greater is the damage being done to Germany. An excellent example is the following attack on the twin towns of Mannheim-Ludwigshafen, the second largest inland port in Europe, with miles of large docks and industrial installations, making machinery and electrical plants and producing vast quantities of chemicals. This is the vital cog in the Nazi war machine. It lies high on the list of Air Chief Marshal Harris's list of towns for destruction by Bomber Command. This attack was covered by film cameras, and you will see it later in the film. A look at the map shows the Ludwigshafen port area, the Mannheim docks on the east bank of the Rhine to the north of the town, and this important bridge across the Rhine linking Mannheim and Ludwigshafen. Remember particularly the arc shape of this area at the east end of the bridge, just south of the docks, with the main post office right in the center. And here, marked by a black line, is the path of the aircraft which is carrying the film cameras. Look at the waterways. These will show up very plainly to the navigators. Mannheim-Ludwigshafen contains 3 principal industrial areas, with many plants of vital importance to the German war machine. The Mannheim docks at the extreme north of the town with 12.5 miles of loading quays. The Ludwigshafen goods yards, which can handle more than 2,000 trucks every 24 hours. The Lance engineering plant, which makes tank components and artillery tractors and covers an area of 112 acres. The large gasworks, which not only supply this town, but 7 others as well in the surrounding districts. The famous Sulzer works, which make diesel engines for warships and submarines. The warehouses along the Leutpoldhafen in the Ludwigshafen port, the largest on the left bank of the Rhine. The Mannheim goods yard, and main railway station which can handle up to 7,000 trucks every 24 hours, and the oil storage installation with 92 tanks. Now we start the run-up. Already target indicators dropped by the Pathfinder Forcer cascading down to mark the target. A huge explosion lights up the warehouses around the south bank of the Leutpoldhafen where it joins the Rhine. You can see that the Pathfinder Force are doing their work with deadly accuracy. The main force of bombers begins to arrive. The attack starts to build up. There are several kinds of flashes you will see during the run over the target. The most common are short, sharp ones, like this, and brighter ones, like this, and this, which are the photo flashes dropped by other aircraft for taking still photographs. and the continuous bursting of sticks of incendiaries on the ground. They can be seen glowing and fluctuating as they take a hold on the buildings. Watch the round parachute flares on the right of the screen and the target indicators cascading in the center. You will see them disappear into the pall of smoke above 3 fires. Take no notice of the flickering white lines on the right of the screen, a fault in the film caused by intense cold. Here you can see smoke rising from fires in the built-up area on the west bank of the Rhine to the north of the bridge. Fires are burning around the bridge and the gasworks, and in the Ludwigshafen goods yard and along the Leutpoldhafen warehouse section. And here is a big explosion near the Mannheim main station and goods yard. Through the heavy clouds of smoke rising from the burning town, 3 or 4 large fires are now taking a hold on the east bank of the Rhine. Stocks of incendiaries spread over the whole area. We are now passing over the center of Mannheim, out towards the River Neckar, and you can still see explosions from blockbusters and huge fires raging above the large pall of smoke and dust. The flare in the lens of the camera from a photo flash has interfered with the view of the target, but you can see that fires are now raging all over the target area, especially around the Leutpoldhafen and its warehouses. The Sulzer engineering plant is well ablaze, also whole blocks of buildings in the district to the north of the bridge. Large fires are also burning in the Lance engineering plant and the Mannheim goods yard. In fact, there is no part of this German town which has not felt the weight of the attack. And now, as they run out of the target area and set course for home, they leave behind the flaming battlefield of yet another victory for Bomber Command, another successful action in the great night offensive to cripple the Nazi war machine.